morning. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How we doing? What's poppin'? Welcome to the official pre-show. Hope everyone's having a splendid morning. Hope everyone's having a good day as well. We're gonna have another great show packed for you all. I'm gonna be, of course, sharing the link around, and then we'll get right into the topic at hand here. You know what I'm saying? So we will get it popping. Shout out Simon the Digger. What's up, bro? How you doing, dog? How you doing, man? Welcome to the episode. Of course, your favorite PlayStation podcast. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot. There's a lot of others. You know what I'm saying? But we have a distinct taste. You know what I'm saying? We have a distinct feel. I would like to, agree with. So I hope y'all enjoy. And so usually in the pre-show, we tend to talk about games that we've been playing, etc. I'm gonna say one of the games I've been playing for the full episode, because Christian would like that in the full-on episode, and he definitely wants to hear my full and thought-out thoughts on that particular game. So I will be holding back on one particular game I'm playing. However, who we got? You should watch Tengen Toppa Girl. I don't even know what that is, bro. But if you want to link me on Twitter, definitely go ahead and link me on Twitter for sure. But I have been playing. So here's the thing, right? As far as as far as what I'm looking forward to in terms of gaming, right? There's not a lot on the PlayStation 4. We do have Wolfenstein at the end of this week. That one I cannot wait for. But other than that, there isn't a ton of PS4 games getting after Wolfenstein up until Borderlands 3. So we have a nice little cushion for me to explore, some Switch games, right? So I will be picking up what's it called? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that will be bought and played. I'm also thinking about picking up Mario Maker 2, and by thinking I'm pretty certain I will be also getting that as well. So that should be hype. But I have been playing lately on my Switch a little game called Stranger Things 3. I'm liking it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a nice, just chill out game. I'll just pop it on before bed, stuff like that. Play a little bit. I'll link you on Discord since I'm in. Yeah. Okay, cool. Bet. Link me on Discord. I have plenty of games on PS4. Sorry, my backlog. Yeah, let me know what your backlog is. So me, in terms of my backlog, Order 1886 is still there, but I don't know when I'm gonna play that. I want to play that on stream. I want to do just like a one take, just stream of it. I don't know if I'll get to it this week, just because this week I'm moving into a different room in my apartment. My other roommates are moving out, so I'll be having to, redo my sub and stuff like that, do the cable management again, so that'll be taking a little bit of my time this week. But I do want to get onto Order 86. I just want to stream that in one go. That's like my thing I want to do, because I know it's a pretty short game. I do want to do that. I just don't know when I will be able to do that. But hopefully it will be soon. But other than that, yeah, there is a big game that I will again talk about. You know what I'm saying? When we start the show. But yeah, man, I mean, pretty much for the next few weeks and months, really, it's gonna be a lot of Switch games I'll be playing, because Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I've been hearing good things about that game. I definitely want to play it. Mario Maker looks insanely fun. Definitely want to play that. Eventually, okay. So what's officially on the back? Like, yo, Kevin Mack, my boy, what's happening, bro? How you doing today? How you doing? Definitely, what's in the backlog is the Horizon DLC. I don't know when I'll beat that. I feel like that's gonna be sometime in the fall. But the day they announced the official release date of Last of Us Part 2 is when I'll be playing The Last of Us Left Behind DLC again. I'm waiting on that. I want to replay it. I'm waiting until I get a release date that will again then be a full episode of Road to Part 2. We will be doing a whole podcast dedicated to that. So that should be fun. And this week's topic on Road to Part 2, boys, is going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good. If you liked the Paris Game Show trailer, definitely tune in. Definitely tune in to that one because let me tell you something. It's going to be a doozy. Gonna be a doozy. I'll tell you what. But we're getting an incoming transmission. Hold on. Is that my boy?
Hello.
Can you scream?
Can I what?
Just okay, we're good. Oh man. So there is a specific game, Christian, we talked about beforehand that I have not said or mentioned.
Cool. You
know what I'm saying? Because I think you want that to be main prime show content, not pre-show content.
Yeah, let's open the show with that.
Yeah, 100%. So, I told the chat, I've been playing Stranger Things 3 on my Switch.
Nice. You're liking it or no?
I'm liking it. It's alright, I want to say it's to a similar vein as My Friend Pedro, but ever so slightly above it. I would actually no, I can't say that. I'm only liking Stranger Things 3 mainly because obviously if you've seen the season, I would recommend definitely watch Stranger Things 3 first and then play the game because it is explains just nice and quick. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the conversations are the same, but you're definitely gonna want to I feel like if you play this game and act like you're going to understand Stranger Things 3, it's not gonna. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? So I would recommend obviously watching the season. So if anything, it's more just really cool to, see different perspectives of different things that happen in the show and stuff like that. It's just overall. I mean, it's just been my hey before I go to bed, play a little bit, play half an hour or so, whatever. Super easy gameplay. The puzzles are actually pretty challenging for some of them. There have been some really interesting puzzles that do take a lot of thought, and they're pretty well thought out. So overall, it's cool. Nice. But other than that, I have my big game that I've been playing. But what have you been playing? Anything? I've been itching, man. I'm like 2 days away from just splurging and getting Mario Maker and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Man, I am right on the edge, bro.
Yeah. In my free time, it's just been Mario Maker really still. Last episode I talked about Arkham City.
You did?
Haven't touched that since then. I'm right at the end though. I have the last sequence is about to begin. I just haven't hopped into that yet.
Gotcha.
And then I'm gonna finish off the challenges in that, and then do New Game Plus and get the platinum from it.
I see. Yeah. We were going over backlog stuff during the pre-show as well. Doom is on there. I didn't mention Doom. Doom is on there. So officially my backlog is Doom. It's Last of Us Left Behind. It is Horizon DLC. And it's Order 1886.
Nice.
Officially, those are the top of the list backlog stuff. And yeah. That's that. So, yeah, because I was telling them that, there's not really a lot of games, at least on PS4, that I'm really wanting to play other than Wolfenstein at the end of this week. That's cool. But other than Wolfenstein at the end of this week, it's pretty much Switch games up until Borderlands 3 for me, at least. I know you may be getting Control.
Yeah, unsure if I'm going to wait for Black Friday on that one or if I want to hop in $60 day one. Don't know yet, but we'll see how that goes.
Also, before we start the old Cross Circle podcast, my room is a bit dark today, and that's because I am officially moving into the master bedroom of my apartment. So now there is gonna be so the place where I'm putting my desk at, right? It's setting up a new setup. I got a great black wood desk. It's very big, very nice. I like it a lot. Is that it is in front of a mirror from my closet door. So that's gonna be quite interesting to deal with. Not sure what I'm gonna do there. I don't know if I'm gonna get some sort of green screen contraption. That might be. I'm not sure because I feel like if y'all
with a PlayStation flag,
I gotta do something because I feel like it's gonna be very odd to see the back of my head in the reflection.
Probably, yeah.
It's gonna be very odd, and to see the monitors. I feel like that's gonna be so. I gotta think about that, but I will, figure it out when we have to figure it out. I think I'm gonna, but then I think either tonight or tomorrow during the day will be the official take up the setup and move into which is gonna be a feat that I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah, I bet.
I gotta redo cable management. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'll get a bigger room and my own private bathroom. So
Nice.
it should be all good. But I'm replaying Persona 5 while still helping my clan in Conan Exiles. Interesting. Very nice. Very nice stuff.
Persona 5's a 10.
Will I play it? Not sure.
You never will. Don't even.
Wow. Kristen has no hope for me. No hope. No hope. It's just too big. It's too intimidating.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I put 125 hours into that game. I was ready for more, and that's just too much for some people.
It is what it is, man. But ready to roll that intro and just get right into it?
I am.
Let's do it. Cheer.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 46 of Cross Circle, the official podcast for PlayStation Source. I'm your moderator, Christian Buckley. Joining me this week is Kevin Diaz.
Good evening. Good morning. Good midday.
Good afternoon.
There we go.
It is
I was looking
for
for
both
it.
of us.
I was looking for it. I'm like, what time is it? Where are we? Are we in the Spider-Verse? I don't know. How you doing, Christian? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's like the middle of the summer now.
Absolutely.
This is a PlayStation channel. We're kind of dry right now.
It is a bit.
My Switch is living its best life right now.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have to agree. I was at the barbershop getting a nice haircut. You know what I'm saying? And I had my barber go, "Hey, is that one of the new Switches?" And I'm like, it is a Nintendo Switch, but not the. She was talking about the Switch Lite.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, no, ma'am, that's coming out towards like September, I think, or October. I forgot when. But she was very intrigued. But yeah, so the Switch is definitely getting a lot of treatment. I don't usually like to bring my Switch out in public. I just do it to the barbershop because it's like an hour wait until I get my haircut anyway. So I'll just pick around that stuff there. But yeah, that's all good. Switch is living the best life. Very much.
So last week I mentioned this in the pre-show. Last week I said I was working on the Arkham City plat. No progress in that. But I know you are excited to talk about your first experience with the Batman Arkham series.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. There have been 2 times in my life, and they both happened in the past like 7 months, where I have played through a game that I know is critically acclaimed. I know a lot of people, want me to play these games, etc. But eventually when I get to it, right, I felt twice where I'm like, man, I physically feel bad for not playing this sooner. The first one was Red Dead Redemption. Phenomenal game. And even though I knew the ending of Red Dead, no spoilers here, I still enjoyed the ride. I still enjoyed it. But if I hadn't had known that ending, it would have been 10 out of 10 phenomenal. But it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I dipped my toe. So, I got home from work last night. After I was off 2 hours of sleep. Whole entire day shift, 2 hours of sleep. That is a whole another story. Very unfortunate events. Not to me, but just in general. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it sounds like it, but
it was very.
You're getting in the mood though, because Arkham Asylum, worst night of Batman's life so far. That's what the pitch is.
Indeed, it's the
worst night in Batman's life because it all takes place in one night, and that's why it's a cool concept.
Indeed.
So you're getting in the mood for it.
Yes. So last night, I got off work. I'm like, man, I'm just itching I want to play something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to play. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Load up PS Now. You know what I'm saying? And I started Batman Arkham Asylum. And let me tell you something, guys. I am feeling the same feeling I did with Red Dead 1, where I really feel very upset at myself for not playing this sooner, because I am thoroughly enjoying this game. A lot more than I thought I would be. A lot more.
Batman Arkham Asylum, fun fact, was the first next gen game I ever owned.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like so like I grew up PS2 GameCube generation mostly,
Right.
and then the first next gen console I got, not counting the Wii because the Wii was part of that gen, but it wasn't the HD
Yeah.
consoles.
Uh-huh.
The first next gen system I got was an Xbox 360,
Oh.
and I had it for like a month.
Okay.
But got a brand new 360. It came with Banjo Kazooie and Viva Pinata. First game I grabbed with it, Batman Arkham Asylum, because I knew that game was supposed to be super good. Huge Batman fan, obviously.
Right.
Love Batman so much.
Right.
And that was the driving thing that was like always in my head. It was like, man, I really wish I could play that Batman game. Arkham Asylum is fantastic.
I'm liking
Big
it.
fan of it.
I'm liking it a lot. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Mark Hamill is the voice of Joker. Is that
Yes.
okay? Okay, because I heard it and I know he was Joker. I don't know if he was Joker in these games. Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
So it's
Very,
interesting
very good
too.
performance.
So Joker is played by Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
Batman is played by Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill both voiced Batman and the Joker respectively on Batman the Animated Series.
Gotcha.
Mark Hamill has returned to voice the Joker several times for different projects.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Conroy also, if it's an animated Batman, 90% chance it's his voice.
It's Kevin Conroy.
He is the guy.
Right.
He's the guy. Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are both written by, I'm blanking on his name. I think it's Bruce Timm. It's the same guy who wrote Batman the Animated Series.
Okay.
So they feel sort of like we're almost at the point where it's like a sequel to the animated series,
Right.
but it's a very clear distinction between like the history of those worlds, but like lots of returning voice actors from the animated series. It's written, I think honestly, like the Arkham series Batman is my favorite Batman, the way Spider-Man PS4 is my favorite.
Is your favorite Spider-Man? Interesting.
Yeah.
I see.
They just nail it.
I'm just enjoying it. I think it's pacing very well so far. So to give you just a little parameters, I have defeated Bane.
Nice.
And I just left the Bat Cave in Arkham Island.
So you got the grapnel gun.
Yes. Yeah. I just got the claw. Yeah. So I don't know how percentage wise that is, or like I think it's maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in. Like I still feel pretty early to the game.
Yeah. You're still pretty early. It's like probably maybe like a 13-hour game.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it right now.
Okay.
If you're playing on like normal or easy?
I'm playing normal. Yeah.
Normal? Yeah, okay. So maybe 13 hours.
Okay.
I don't know.
I see.
But do you think you're going to go for all the riddles?
I have
Or you
been
just pick 'em up?
I'm just picking up when I see him. I'm not really going for it. It is quite interesting also to think like I just kept thinking. So, other than the PS2 era of licensed superhero games, most notably Spider-Man, most notably Ultimate Spider-Man, developed by Treyarch. Interesting fact.
Good game.
Did not know that until like 2 years ago, but very very good game, right? I didn't play any superhero games really in the PS3 era. Obviously skipped down the Arkham series. I know there was Ultimate Alliance 2 during that era. There's a bunch of our Spider-Man games, etc. I just didn't play those because I was, as one would call a Call of Duty fanboy and just played COD all day, all night, right? So, Spider-Man PS4 was the first superhero game in a long time I played, right? And it's really interesting to see how much I see this game in Spider-Man PS4. It's very much like, they have collectibles that tell back lore. They like the combat is very similar. You know what I'm saying? It's just really interesting to see that. I'm just like, man, like would you say like the Arkham series kind of laid the foundation of like the modern day superhero game or was it just because I'm trying to remember honestly the like PS2 superhero games, but I really have a good memory on those because I haven't played this literally in probably close to like 12, 15 years or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I would say Arkham Asylum made like a bold, hey, we're here to be like serious, legit good video games.
right.
Arkham Asylum, I feel like, was one of the first to take a license and really do something great with it. Um, and again, as far as like vicinity of like, yeah, the old like Super Nintendo licensed games are good, but modernizing it in a way that makes it a contemporary game that we've seen the Arkham combat system lifted and put into so many other games because it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, I feel like it never really hits the highs of the Arkham combat because I feel like the Arkham combat's just amazing. But yeah, Arkham Asylum uh, definitely is the reason why Spider-Man PS4 is the game that we know it to be.
100%.
Like
I totally
the
see that.
combat is there, the stealth is there. I'd say even the reliance on gadgets to a slightly different extent.
Yeah.
Where Spider-Man, the gadgets are much more oriented to combat and assisting you there, where Arkham, it's a mix of using it in combat. I feel like Arkham City really makes it great for using it in combat, but so much of Arkham Asylum, and the reason why I loved Arkham Asylum so much, and the reason why I said it was my favorite in the Arkham series, is because it's pretty much a 3D Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're progressing through Arkham Island, you're getting new gadgets, new abilities, returning to old environments, using those new gadgets to find new areas of the environments you've already been through.
Yeah.
And it's why I'm so hyped for Control, because I think when you really nail the tone of that and then just make the discovery of all those secrets feel awesome, then you have just a really great game. And Arkham is just very tight. I have some complaints because I revisited Arkham Asylum last fall. But yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if you're enjoying this, you're going to love Arkham City.
Oh, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. Yeah, we would definitely be continuing that this week. Kevin Mack, nice comment in the chat. Spider-Man PS4 is indeed the best-selling superhero game ever in the U.S.
Yeah, that's
is
crazy.
it overall or just U.S.?
I'm not sure if it's overall or just the U.S., but I know NPD reports
Just
American sales.
Yeah.
But the previous title, the previous holder of that title was Arkham City.
Arkham City. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
now it's Spider-Man. Well deserved. They made a good video game. I just
Absolutely.
like a new Rocksteady DC game soon.
It's crazy.
But,
4 years they've been silent, but
I mean, it's got to be something in the next 12 months.
for
I'm
sure,
assuming.
for sure.
So
But Spider-Man PS4 is tied to our topic.
it is, yeah. So that's a good natural hopping on point. Spider-Man PS4, similar to Arkham Asylum, laid the groundwork, I would say, for the future of Marvel games.
Indeed.
Because Marvel games, since the Disney purchase, I'll say, haven't been too great. They've been few and far between. Lots of mobile games. The criminally underappreciated Marvel Heroes Omega, may it rest in peace. Big fan of that one. Did you ever try that?
No, never.
Much more Diablo than Ultimate Alliance is.
Okay, interesting.
And much more of a focus on online multiplayer. Lots of microtransactions because it was free to play.
Right.
But fantastic beat 'em up. Very good game.
Interesting. Okay.
So Spider-Man PS4 comes out, right?
Yep.
I would say the first big initiative we've seen from Marvel games.
I agree. Like it definitely, I feel like, was viewed upon release and like still to this day that as like this is the game that's gonna set the tone of what they're kind of going for in terms of like console Marvel games, as far as I'm aware. You know what I'm saying?
Bill Roseman is the spearheading guy of Marvel games. I don't know how long he's been there, but I've really seen him in the spotlight around the announcement and release of Spider-Man PS4. I know he's worked with mobile games. He's worked on like pretty much every Marvel game project that exists right now.
Right.
He's had his hand in. So not too sure like when he was brought into the fold, but he's the guy that is going to be promoting Marvel games now, you know?
Right.
So I think before Spider-Man PS4, we got Telltale Guardians and we got the Marvel Lego games, which all real solid. But Spider-Man PS4, like we're saying, is the Iron Man to this new initiative. It's the Arkham Asylum to the future of Marvel games.
Mm-hmm.
Next up,
Mm.
part 2 of this. Well, technically part 2 of this is Iron Man VR,
It
another Sony
is.
exclusive, which I can't wait for.
Yeah.
But grand scheme AAA budget part 2. The follow-up, the sophomore release from Marvel Games is Marvel's Avengers.
Indeed. Developed by
So,
Crystal Dynamics.
hmm,
Behind the Tomb Raider reboots. I think the majority of them. I
the
think
first
one of
two
them.
of them, yeah.
First two, yeah. Third one isn't, but yeah, okay. So,
Uh,
pretty good studio.
Corey Barlog worked on Tomb Raider 2,
Indeed.
so he's worked with this team before.
Indeed, he did.
And the current combat designer was the combat designer for God of War 2018.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure, like, didn't he say, like, I forgot if he was asked if Thor's hammer, aka Mjolnir, is essentially Kratos' axe, and like he did like a wink nudge, like, all right, like it's not literally, but essentially, yeah. Like,
I think during E3 Coliseum, Andrea Renee was doing an interview with the team there,
Yeah.
and the combat designer was present on stage. I think there was probably 4 or 5 people, and she was like, "Hey, I know what you did. Why are you hiding the fact that you were on God of War and you made that axe?"
hell yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things to be excited for with Avengers, and I guess the guiding topic here is talking about the future of Marvel games, whether we think they should cross over, if they will cross over, speculation there.
Yeah.
But I want to start, Kevin.
Yes.
San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend,
Indeed.
and Bayer that attended the Marvel Games panel, hosted by Greg Miller,
Yep.
got a look at refined gameplay that was, like, when I say refined, it means changed from what the press saw at E3,
Right.
but it's the same demo.
Yeah. Right.
Have you seen the leaked footage of this game
I have. I actually
from
have.
Comic-Con?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna pull up to reference it.
Cool.
On the side over here, so I'll be doing that. I won't be showing it on the podcast. But
If you're
I'll have it-
interested,
yeah.
it's out there. Just look up
Yeah.
Comic-Con Avengers game. You'll find it, probably top 3,
It's-
but we don't want to risk it. So.
Yeah, it's out there. Obviously, we're not showing it, but I found that this one is a lot easier to find than the first time we got leaked footage. I don't know why. I don't know if they're being like loosey goosey with this footage or whatever, but it seems like they're taking down the videos a lot less frequently than the first time we got leaks around E3. So, but yeah, I mean,
It's a much more clear view.
a
too.
lot more clear. Oh my god, because like the first one, really, the only clear view, 100% really was Black Widow.
Black Widow and like
Yeah.
a little bit of Hulk, but this
Yeah.
like you get a good chunk of everybody's combat.
Yeah, it's a really nice look at the gameplay. I mean, obviously we want the gameplay to release, which they said that they'll be doing 2 weeks after Gamescom, I think, or a few weeks after Gamescom.
I think the week after.
The week after. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we will be getting straight up, hopefully 4K, 1080p, whatever, actual just gameplay uploaded. Instead of this off camera stuff. But this off camera view is a really really good view of it.
Yes. And I don't want to dwell on this too long, but we've had discussions about the Avengers game already. I feel like I've been more excited for it than you have.
Yeah.
Grand scheme.
I don't know. I mean, like, I am okay. Let me just. Obviously, I'm gonna buy it day one. Obviously, I'm gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like. There's just I don't know. Like, I'm not like wowed. I am excited for it, and like I will like. It looks good, especially this recent link that we got from Comic-Con. Like, it looks good. Like, it looks fun. Like, Thor looks fun to play. I think Black
So you're
Widow.
going up on it now, right?
Yeah. I'm definitely on the uphill trajectory, just not like over, head over heels, blow up my skirt type deal, But
But yeah, so I thought I was excited for it. I wasn't blown away
right.
or anything, but I don't think I was expecting to be. I'm excited for a story to go through, experimenting with these Avengers, and I'm really excited to be able to play with my friends and form my own Avengers team.
Yeah.
And based on the combat that they've shown, each character seems varied enough. Thor looks like he's a blast to play, so
Yeah,
I'm glad that
Thor looks really fun to play for real.
Thor was the
looks...
guy I've been claiming since they announced this game in 2017. I'm like, we can play together, but I got Thor.
You know what?
So like, back off.
I'll make you a deal. If we ever play together this game, just give me Cap, and I'm good.
See, that's interesting because
I'm
Cap
happy.
is my ultra.
I'm happy. Just give me Cap, and I'm good. That's all I want to play as. That's it.
So it's cool that we're feeling more positive about this game now because Spider-Man, similarly, I guess, like, end of the day, we weren't blown away, but we loved it.
Yeah, we had a very interesting, like, our review of Spider-Man PS4, I think in hindsight is like just super interesting because, like, I feel like we were only let down because we knew so much about the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would like. That's kind of like what I boil it down to. Like, if we had known a little bit less going into it, I feel like we would have had a better. But then at the same tone, even if you know like a little bit of Spider-Man lore, especially the villains and the backgrounds of those villains,
You know, by like the second
you know
hour.
how the game's gonna go. Literally, I mean, yeah, literally within like the first hour because that character pops up.
Right.
Wait, no, I think he calls him during the intro. Yeah, so it's like, if you, I mean, once you hear his involvement, you know what's gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was the thing too.
So with the Avengers, obviously there's some sort of PlayStation connection here. They've said numerous times that there's going to be exclusive content available on PlayStation. I don't think they've ever said the extent of that content.
They haven't.
We know we're going to be able to customize with gear, potentially weapons, costumes, stuff like that. I don't know if they would tie a specific character to only being exclusive on PlayStation. But we do know that for sure beta is first coming to the PS4.
Yeah, which do we have a date?
No.
Or like a time frame? No. Okay, yeah.
Like if it comes out in April, it's probably this year. But like we've seen nothing. Essentially,
Yeah, I imagine it's definitely not within like the first few months. I mean, like the within the next few months. I would say maybe January
like November,
might be.
December,
Yeah, November, December, January might be a good time frame. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see,
so where do you want to break off here about like the potential connections to Spider-Man? Because I know you've made a video talking about Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. So like, there's a lot of evidence, you know, to make the claim that Spider-Man PS4 takes place in the same universe as the Avengers game. There's a lot, you know, like he references that they're in the West Coast, maybe hanging out on some beach somewhere. That's the joke that Peter makes. But obviously, we, you know, open up here. The Avengers are on the West Coast, San Francisco, opening up their new, you know, I believe their West Side facility, right? That's kind of what they're doing. Or am I tripping?
Yes.
Or is it just like the unveiling of the Avengers like helicarrier? And like, is that the base?
So it's. I think the city is throwing them a celebration day.
I
think that's what it is.
Okay, something like that. Yeah. So they are on the West Coast, right? So maybe this game is taking place during the events that are on PS4, and then I don't know. Like there's and Taskmaster. He does look different, right? From the Avengers game, from the PS4 game, but you know that's not here or there. So there are some tidbits and evidence to prove that perhaps they could be in the same universe. But I guess like I want to ask you is that like would you want that? You know what I'm saying?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think we have to like very clearly lay this out right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's doubt because unlike Marvel Studios with the MCU, the Marvel game universe, Bill Roseman has his hand in everything. He's a producer.
Right.
But there's so many different, like, it's night and day between game production and film production.
100%. Yeah. I feel like we're on the same road with this, but go ahead.
Yeah. Marvel Studios is all under one banner. The Marvel game universe, as it exists right now, if it is real, Insomniac and PlayStation own Spider-Man. It's an Iron Man VR game. There's a Avengers game from Square Enix. And there's like some crossover, like you said, there was the West Coast thing, the reference in Spider-Man, the absence of the Avengers in that game. but there's Taskmaster, which is different. Sure, he could have a different suit. Iron Man VR though, we see Tony Stark Iron Man, different voice actor, different suit.
Yeah.
Um, so like there's like it's hard to pinpoint. Um,
I mean, I think if anything, if they were going to make a MGU, if you will, a Marvel Games universe, right? I think they would clearly distinctly, all right, the traditional console games
mhm.
are part of the MGU, right?
Yes, they could easily do that.
And then not to belittle the other platforms, but like our VR stuff is going to be, maybe it's one off own thing. The Marvel Alternate Line 3, even though they have Yuri Lowenthal voice acting Spider-Man, in that game as well, that's off its own thing, because it's not
Mhm.
like the core, like, PlayStation, Xbox, PC type, platforms. Like, I could see that, right? But I think in essence, like, it'd be difficult to pull off.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too when there's the walls of exclusivity too.
Uh huh.
And I'm not saying that Spider-Man should be on everything, because I am someone who thinks exclusives are cool. Like, I don't think that we should do away with exclusives. I think exclusives have a fun sort of attitude to them,
Right.
where it's like, yeah, you can only play Halo on Xbox, you can only play Uncharted on PlayStation. I think that is fun, and I don't think it's like withholding great content from people. I think it's just companies obviously using great content to sell their machine because they are so similar now with the internals.
Absolutely.
So it all comes down to software. So I love Spider-Man so much, but I only have an Xbox and I can only afford an Xbox, and all my friends are on Xbox, so like I can't just sell it. That's rough.
Yeah.
But I think like realistically, what I could see happen in the future is PlayStation gets Spider-Man, maybe Xbox gets their own character,
Mm.
and then Avengers is multi-platform, and
Hmm.
then all three of those series tie into each other, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like, maybe it's a similar, like, connectiveness with the current MCU to like the Netflix series that are Marvel and the mainline MCU movies, right? Like the shows are still a part of the MCU, but the show's events never affect the movies. The movies events affects the other TV shows, right?
Yeah, and I could totally see it being
Like,
that in the end.
yeah, so like I could see like the Avengers game being kind of like what the movies are in that relationship in terms of like, all right, this is the main, like, plot point, if you will, whatever, and then the games just reference that, but I mean, by games I mean like the side exclusive games, right? Like,
Yeah.
for example, Spider-Man PS4, right? Like, but they never affect the core multiplat game.
Hmm.
I guess maybe that could be something. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like it'd be so difficult to like really coordinate all this.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
you could say that's what Bill Roseman's job is right now. Like maybe he's trying to lay that foundation.
Yeah.
Um, and it would be interesting because it would be sort of on the software side, a synergy between PlayStation and Xbox still,
It would be.
because we've seen them sort of start to warm up to being mentioned, in the same breath as each other.
Yeah.
Um, so I think if you do have something like this that is, for all intents and purposes, the way we've been talking about it, as Avengers is what creates the ripples for the exclusive series, then you have incentive to have like check out the other consoles games, I guess. You
Oh,
know?
I see what you mean. Okay, so kind
So
of like
say
all
both of us.
high tide rises all ships type deal. We're just get. Oh,
Yes.
okay, I see what you're saying.
So say
Gotcha.
both of us, PlayStation owners,
Mm.
we play Avengers, and we both love Spider-Man. We play Avengers, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I guess what other game
Like
would you want to see on Xbox that could be like a
let's
Marvel?
just say there's a cameo in the Avengers game
Okay.
from Doctor Strange,
Oh.
and then it's revealed
Mm.
that I don't know who would make a good Doctor Strange game that Xbox owns, but Doctor Strange is going to be an Xbox exclusive video game series.
That'd be hot.
Now, Doctor Strange isn't like when you think Avengers, he's not the first guy you think of.
Right.
Same way Spider-Man, not the first guy you think of. Um, so you have for argument's sake, a Doctor Strange Xbox series going on, a PlayStation Spider-Man series going on,
Right.
and then the Avengers series, if it's a multi-game series or a 10-year single game series, has events that would make side missions in these games or make some connections to these games. I think if that pitch was actually real, I would be someone who would be interested in getting an Xbox just to see the Doctor Strange game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. If the day they announce a character that I love in Marvel that's exclusive to Xbox, I will be buying an Xbox. I'm sorry. Like, I will be buying an Xbox.
I'm so stupid because
Wait,
the Xbox X-Men, they should just get the X-Men series.
You just did something. Ow. Oh, wait, that would be really hot. That'd be really hot.
I don't know why I didn't know why I didn't do
man,
that.
a whole X-Men on Xbox. Wait, that would be hot. Yeah, that would make me buy an Xbox. No, absolutely no cap right there. That'd be I'm trying to think of like what other oh man. What about Guardians?
Well, see, Guardians
Where
is
would you
rumored
see
to be
that?
another series from Square Enix.
Really?
Yes, and Eidos, who did Rise of the Tomb, Shadow of the Tomb Raider,
The third
one,
Tomb Raider, right? Oh, they're rumored to be working on a
Guardians
Guardians
of the
game.
Galaxy game.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean that's so like I mean that's what I don't think we're gonna get like this hypothetical MGU like it to be as like how do I explain it like as woven in and as dense if you will as opposed to like the MCU. You know what I'm saying? Because just like you said before, like making a game is such a much bigger endeavor as opposed to making a film, which even itself a film is a huge endeavor. But like making a game that takes 3, 4, 5 years to make, etc.
And what if there's a delay?
Exactly, like
No.
delays. Yeah, like I feel like just game development in itself is such a long term thing that to even make them line up would be difficult in itself. But maybe I don't know. Like maybe they are, maybe they do understand that, and maybe they're gonna do it very limited. Like maybe it's, like those type of strands of connections are like if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's something in Avengers that's like a small little thing that links with Spider-Man PS4, boom, you like have that if you know Spider-Man PS4. But if you don't, you would think it just references just Spider-Man in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I really think if we do get anything close to this, that's the extent of it.
Yeah, I agree.
What I could see is if Square Enix wants to tie their Guardians and Avengers game together at some point.
Yeah.
See that happen.
Oh, yeah.
Insomniac wants to take a break after Spider-Man 2 to do another Marvel character that takes place in New York.
Right.
See that happen and crossing over with Spider-Man.
Right.
So I really think it comes down to whoever is in charge of it. If they have the size and capability to branch out in the Marvel universe, I think it's going to be contained that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
Now, you were making another comparison also to the film series again.
Mm-hmm.
What I think could work interesting and could differentiate itself from Avengers, Spider-Man, and the MCU, I think they could take someone like a Dontnod maybe and have them tackle an episodic series that crosses over. Now, it's not as exciting maybe as having a full-blown AAA big-budget game where you're crossing over left and right with superheroes, but
oh my God.
make an episode about Spider-Man, make an episode about Daredevil, make an episode about Wolverine, and then episode 5 they're all coming together to solve a problem. Something like that.
What if it's like Don't Nod, but like mutants? And
Yeah, I
like
could see them tackle
that would be really good. You know what I'm
Don't Not
saying?
X-Men is something that I've actually thought about before, and I
Don't.
think they would.
Oh, they would nail that. That'd be hot. That'd be really hot. Yeah. Is the Guardians Telltale series that is a part of the Marvel Games Initiative? Is it or is it kind of not? Or is it right before it? Like, where
I
does that
think
kind
it
of
still
stand?
counts as being a post Marvel Games
Like,
initiative.
because I know like there was a big I'm trying to remember when it was. I think it was when they announced Spider-Man PS4 officially, where it's like, hey, like this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Like I think that happened before the Guardians Telltale series, maybe. Which I do need to play that before it gets ripped off of existence as a whole.
Yeah, me too.
I do need to do that. So that's something that is probably in the backlog. But very interesting stuff. Very interesting. Like just all this Marvel games, like if it actually fits together, and like how it fits together, you know.
Yeah, I think it's difficult because, like we've said already, making a game is like insanely difficult, and there's so many problems that could happen, and licensing and stuff like that. So I don't know if it'll happen the way we think it'll happen, but I definitely think that there could be avenues to get there. Um, Ultimate Alliance is out now on the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
and in that game, you mentioned this earlier, Yuri Lowenthal voices Spider-Man in there. Nolan North returns to voice Deadpool like he did for the Deadpool video game. Voices Rocket, and Rocket was played by Nolan North in the Guardians game from Telltale. There's Steve Bloom, who historically has played Wolverine in like every animated Wolverine thing.
Really?
He's in there as Wolverine. So like a lot of Marvel voice talent collaborated and was cast and brought into the fold for Ultimate Alliance 3.
Right.
So maybe, again, spitballing, trying to like flesh out a Marvel universe in the gaming world. Maybe one of the characters that comes to Marvel's Avengers is Spider-Man. Maybe I think Insomniac was very smart by making the advanced suit their own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that way, sure, add Spider-Man as a DLC character to the Avengers, but it's not going to be PS4 Spider-Man, even if it's Yuri's voice. I think we could do something like that.
Right. I see. Okay. I see. Like,
I think
you don't think the advanced suit would be in Marvel games? No, I'm sorry, in Marvel Avengers. Excuse me, Crystal Dynamics.
Maybe exclusively on PS4.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. But like, it wouldn't be that Spider-Man.
Right.
Or
it's just a Spider-Man
Spider-Man
that Crystal Dynamics wrote that Yuri Lowenthal voiced.
Right. Okay, I see it.
I think that may also be a realistic thing. And I think it would all spawn out of the Avengers at that point. I don't think it would be, oh, here's the Doctor Strange game and he's going to be in Avengers 2. I don't think we'd get that. The way they're pitching Avengers as a living game, at some point we're going to have a pretty big roster, I think, to select from.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is a big character that could sell that game. But I think it comes down to trying to work around exclusivity and different studios, but making it feel like it's kind of that, you know?
Because that's where it gets mully, because, like, I mean, you know, obviously Insomniac Games knows their specific Spider-Man PS4 Peter Parker the best because they made it, right? So to even, like, flirt with the idea of having that character in another game that's not developed by Insomniac, I don't know if that I mean, maybe Insomniac, you know, for like maybe 2 months they send out a group of 10 developers over that like worked hands on creating Spider-Man. They like help with writing Spider-Man PS4 into Crystal Dynamics to make it like as their vision and like as what they've created as close as possible, even though it's developed by Crystal. Like maybe they have that type of thing going on, you know?
Yeah, even when that, I feel like that's
Exactly.
a
I
big
mean,
ask, from a
yeah.
corporate side of things.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I just
And
don't
like,
know. I just don't know.
I haven't played any of Ultimate Alliance 3 yet,
Right.
but I'm sure Yuri brings the same exact energy and cadence that he brought to Spider-Man on the PS4.
Uh-huh.
So I think a lot of it will, like, if you get Yuri Lowenthal to voice Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers, even if he is like in his continuity, not the same Spider-Man that we know already, it's gonna feel familiar, It's gonna
Right.
feel like Spider-Man because of his voice. And I think, like you said, Insomniac knows them so well. I think at this point Yuri does too.
That's honestly a lot more favorite point than I was making. Yeah. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, as much as Insomniac wrote the lines for their Spider-Man that they wanted to make, like Yuri still gave that performance
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So bringing in Yuri might just be what it is.
Mhm.
And like maybe Yuri could have like creative influence on like what Spider-Man, what like he feels his Spider-Man would say in this scenario, as opposed to like them writing out. Maybe, I don't know. I assume that's not the freedom that they get as voice actors, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel Easter eggs will be the cohesion between Marvel games at best. Yeah, so Kevin Mack is making the point that like, all right, yeah, like, he definitely feels like it's gonna be just like Easter eggs,
Yeah.
that tie it together.
Like maybe some references, like with the West Coast Avengers thing.
Yeah.
Maybe in the beginning of Avengers, they reference like someone's like, "Oh, shouldn't you be in New York?" And he's like, "Oh no, we left Spider-Man to take care of everything." Like something like that.
Right. Yeah, something like that.
I think realistically, that's the best we get.
Yeah, I agree. Even though it would be like, imagine a side mission where like I don't know, maybe this takes place in between Spider-Man PS4 and the sequel.
Hmm.
Iron Man goes over and helps out with something, you know,
Yeah.
and there's like a quick little conversation with Spider-Man. Yuri is the voice of it, just something quick, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And then he goes back to West Coast, just like a quick set. Like that would be cool.
Hmm.
And like you're in Manhattan.
Yeah.
That would be neat. You know what I'm saying?
So the thing that really gets me interested about all of this,
Mm.
like, there's a lot of interesting things about the voice talent behind these characters and who's portraying them and what studio owns what. But the thing that's really puzzling me is Iron Man VR,
Right.
because different voice actor, it's not Nolan North, different visual style, different Iron Man suit, owned by PlayStation, studio owned by PlayStation,
Who
camouflage,
who's
eh,
who's the developer of this game?
camouflage.
Camouflage. Okay. Do we know any of their past work?
I know they did something, but I'm blanking on what it is. If you want to look it up, it's camouflage with a J instead of a G and E.
Okay.
Um, so since PlayStation has the exclusivity for Iron Man VR, it's from a studio that I believe they own, or it
Ooh.
might be second party Insomniac style. Um,
They did a
could
game called Republic, real quick.
Okay, I'm familiar with the name of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I just don't know what it was. Let's see. Episodic of action adventure self video game. Okay. Interesting. It was on mobile. Okay.
Cool.
Gotcha.
So what I was saying was, could that Iron Man team up with Insomniac Spider-Man, since those two are both owned by PlayStation?
Oh, I see what you're saying here.
And
That's quite interesting.
at that point, what happens with these ideas we're pitching out there for connecting to Avengers? Does that get thrown out because now we have a different Spider-Man and a different Iron Man on one side, nothing on Xbox except Avengers?
That gets very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting because here, I mean, if they make that connection, if they bring Iron Man VR's Iron Man into Spider-Man PS4's universe, that completely negates the Crystal Dynamics Iron Man, and then adds more confusion. But then that would make more sense because they're both
VR
owned by
Iron Man was
PlayStation.
just a scroll the whole time. That's how they got away with it.
Or if they fling in the multiverse effect
Yeah, that could be a
and
thing too.
explain that, maybe they uh hmm that could be quite I don't know if I like that. The multiverse
Yeah.
of madness, Kevin Max
Yeah.
was in the chat.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
Absolutely.
It's interesting we turn to that next because traditionally the multiverse and Marvel, it's like nothing. Like Spider-Verse is the multiverse thing that we get. And then mainline Marvel, there's the 616 universe that's
Uh-huh.
like the Amazing Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk. And then there's the Ultimate Universe. I forget what number it is, but
Gotcha.
that's where you get Ultimate Spider-Man. That's where Miles was introduced.
I
And
see.
Spider-Verse is where it gets like 10 million different realities. Crazy.
Right, right, right.
DC is the thing that really hammers in.
The
There's like infinite Batmans, there's infinite Supermans. They're all different, and they cross over sometimes for like cataclysmic events.
right.
That's their thing. Marvel doesn't touch that much.
Really.
Spider Verse is the exception
Is
there.
the only one that like kind of does that multiverse type deal. Okay, interesting. Right.
There is like the concepts of multiverse in Marvel, but it's not like their event thing. Where
Right.
DC, it's like that's their bread and butter.
Okay. I see. Interesting.
So
Interesting.
if that is a shift that we're seeing as time goes on through different Marvel content, that's interesting to me from like a nerd perspective. But um,
I mean, one.
the history lines up differently.
Right, right. One thing also like could obviously San Diego Comic Con. We had the Marvel Games panel, of course, and then we got I think yesterday or 2 days ago, as of this recording, was it Saturday? I forgot if it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday. The infamous Hall H Marvel Studios, where we got the full rundown of Phase 4 and a little bit of Phase 5,
Hmm.
right? Could that be telling of maybe the avenues of IP that they want to bolster up in terms of Marvel games as well? Not saying directly, but maybe there could be some, maybe perhaps, you know what I'm saying? Not,
I don't
obviously
think
they're
they're
both this,
crazy.
but like for example, like we got Spider-Man PS4 at the birth of Spider-Man Homecoming. This
Mhm.
research, like I'm not saying that was a direct correlation, but possibly there could have been some sort of correlation there.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right because of how Marvel treats their comics.
Yeah.
Um, for the last so like 2008 onward, when Marvel Studios started really picking up steam,
Mm,
they started like treating the X-Men like they were nothing
gotcha.
because Marvel Studios. It's more actually when the Disney purchase happened. Um, Marvel Studios under the Disney umbrella
Right.
didn't own X-Men. Fox owned X-Men.
Gotcha.
So they had what they worked with and what we know from the MCU so far. And on the comic side of things, we saw people like Iron Man got a bigger focus. We saw um, the mid 20 teens. We got Captain Marvel being changed from Ms. Marvel to Captain Marvel, getting a big spotlight leading up to the years before the film. Black Panther also has gotten some retooling. So, and meanwhile, the X-Men, nobody knows what to do with the X-Men right now.
Yeah.
The reboot of the X-Men comic from like Ground Zero reboot is starting this week.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't know that. Okay, interesting.
So like Marvel got the rights back on the movie side to do X-Men films now.
Right.
And they're finally going to like really seriously
Like let's
establish the X-Men in the Marvel Comics universe again.
interesting.
So you're definitely right in saying that their material surrounding the films often reflects their focus.
Right. Right. So then, I mean, what Phase 4 stuff do you want to see be connected? Not connected directly, obviously, but like what IPs from the Phase 4 that they've announced could make for good games? You already said Doctor Strange, which I think could be
Yeah,
lit. That could be a
I want
really, really good game.
I
You know what
want
I'm
to
saying?
slightly modify that.
Okay.
Doctor Strange VR, I feel like would be incredible
Christian, you made me shed a tear.
with how trippy that could get, like the
That could be
making the
dope.
rings, the portals
Yeah.
and stuff, the wands, real cool.
I like that idea. I really do. I really do. You're really speaking to me. I'm trying to think of what else. Blade. I'm trying to think of a Black Panther game. I wonder
Black
how
Panther would
that
be
could
a
go
cool
down.
game.
I think that'd be really cool. But I'm trying to think of like what exactly that would be.
It
You
would.
know?
I think it would be similar to Batman in the
Ah.
combat itself
Okay.
portions, probably closer than Spider-Man is.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting. Interesting.
I think, like, obviously, I feel like a good Captain America game would be cool, but any of the Avengers from Square Enix, I don't think are going to be getting their own standalone games anytime soon.
Yeah. I see.
Uh, yeah, I mean, in my heart, I would love to see a Daredevil game.
Dude. Now, okay, completely not connected to games, right?
Hmm.
Do you really think Daredevil, the series, is like done? Because
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell.
know because the thing is, there was a rule that Netflix had that they couldn't use those characters for 2 years after they ended.
Okay.
And Mahershala Ali, who was recently cast as Blade,
Yep.
was in Luke Cage
Was
as Coppermouth, I believe.
Cottonmouth, I
Cottonmouth.
believe. I didn't watch Luke Cage at all, but I know he was Cottonmouth in that. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're taking that guy who played a villain, making him Blade in a film.
Right.
So it's iffy. Like I love Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock in Daredevil.
Dude, Charlie Cox. I mean, Daredevil in itself is an incredible series. Season 3, legitimately, I think is honestly a perfect season of any form of television or streaming media. Season 3 is like perfect. I loved season 3 so much.
My
So
friend
good.
Jack, who did 18 episodes of Excelsior, a Marvel podcast with me,
Mm,
uh, also thinks that he thinks season 3 of Daredevil is like perfect.
it's perfect.
A lot of people do.
I loved it, and it's so sad to see it go.
So yeah, I
Hypothetically speaking.
for how much people love Charlie Cox and John Bernthal and Kristen Ritter as Daredevil, Punisher, and Jessica Jones,
Right.
I don't think it's out of the question that they could be retooled in some way once Marvel can.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would like reboot with the same actors or kind of just be like, oh yeah, they've been around for a while, like they've had their things before.
Now, with the, I don't know if you know, but with the Netflix and Marvel deal, are they allowed? So, is it that they can use the characters again after 2 years, or the narratives can carry over, or is that
I
just, or do they own the narrative and the events of the shows, but the characters can be used again after 2 years?
I think it is those characters cannot be used for 2 years.
Okay, so
But
they, in theory, might own 1 through 3 of Daredevil.
yeah, I'm not sure the specifics there, and it's not super clear grand scheme. Like anyone knows the answer really right now.
Right. Okay, I see. I
But I
see.
could easily see them be like, yeah, Charlie Cox is Daredevil. He already had his origin, but the series didn't happen or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, like, it still exists,
Right.
and that version of that character's still out there. But like, for as far as canon MCU is concerned, like maybe they just want to brush it aside. Um, but there's no rule about a Daredevil game being done right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I would see a Daredevil more of like a
And
like would
see,
like
when
a stealth action game work with well for Daredevil? You
I
know what I'm
think it
saying?
could. So earlier, when I said maybe Insomniac wants to take a break after Spider-Man 2,
Oh,
Daredevil game, because Spider-Man and Daredevil are tight.
that would be cool. That would be cool.
Um,
And there was
but
calls to Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. And I believe
exactly,
Daredevil was also
Nelson
mentioned
and
by
Murdoch, you can
name.
find
Yeah,
their
Nelson
hubs.
Murdoch. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think a stealth game would be pretty decent. But I'm trying to like tie it to like what. Hmm.
Yeah, and I mean
Um.
we have been brainstorming a lot throughout the episode about future Marvel projects we'd love to see. Um, I got a couple. I think Ubisoft can make a real cool Punisher game
Really
with their experience in open world games and Tom Clancy games.
okay.
I feel like that's right up their alley.
Interesting.
X
Interesting.
Marine
Right.
going crazy, hunting down bad guys. That could work. Um, Don't Nod
Oh,
X Men I think makes perfect
yeah. I
sense.
think Donut X-Men is what I really would want. That would be hot. But yeah, I guess Ubisoft Punisher, because like he'd be, the like checkbox aspect of, like of those games by Ubisoft could be like him hunting down high value targets and stuff like that.
Mm,
In a way,
yeah.
okay, I see that. I see that. I see. Very interesting.
So,
Because I feel like there could be a lot of games or a lot of characters that could fit easily into the like Spider-Man PS4 and Batman archetype. of that like third
Yeah,
person.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm trying to think of like IPs that would lend themselves good to like a different genre.
Yes.
You know, that would make it a little bit of a diversifying aspect as opposed to like having like the same kind of third person perspective. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah.
like that type of game. So that's like I'm trying like that. Like I'm trying to think of characters that would fit well with like a different genre, you know. But
Yeah, and that's why I do think Don't Not X-Men's a good idea. I think
Strange VR is a great
Strange
idea.
VR,
That
yeah.
is such a good idea. God, give me that.
Yeah,
Give me
I
that.
really hope that happens.
That would be so hot. Oh my god.
Um, I think Nintendo could do a cool, like, Young Avengers or West Coast Avengers kind of game that's like
Hmm.
a bit more than what Ultimate Alliance is as far as like the minute to minute gameplay and like a little deeper,
Okay.
but much more focused on a cast.
Right.
Uh,
That that could be interesting. I like that.
mhm.
I like that. Where does Black Panther fit? I don't know. Because Black
Yeah, I'm not-
Panther, I just think of a Spider-Man PS4 type, type format.
yeah, if I was Black Panther, I'd want to be like open world
Yeah.
Wakanda and like locations in Africa to play around in.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I think Doctor Strange being a VR game, or maybe Jessica Jones being a narrative-based detective game could be
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of range within Marvel, and I think they have a lot of characters that would fit copy paste in the Spider-Man position. And while I would be happy to see some characters get a game fully like dedicated to themselves like Spider-Man did, I do think what you said about trying to have different styles of games, different genres is much more exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Because and like it's obviously the movie aspect of it, but they announced this weekend that they're gonna be making their first like scary movie with Doctor Strange. Uh, um, what's it called? Multiverse of Madness, and like that seems like definitely not probably not exactly and probably not literally the response, but it seems like kind of a response to like people how some people have the opinion that like they feel that MCU movies are pretty much like very similar in a way,
Mhm.
you know. So I like that, especially how they're kind of like looking at the Quantic Dream doing a Jessica Jones game. I like that.
Maybe.
Wait, do I like that? I would like to see them handle something Marvel. I think they do narrative games very well. Like I said before, Detroit, great game, 2 thumbs up, free on PS Plus this month. Pick it up. Very good.
Yeah.
Very
I
interesting.
think there's a lot of potential for lots of talented teams to make some cool Marvel games. So I hope we get some new announcements in the next year or so. It would be cool to have a new thing to look forward to.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Spider-Man 2 is coming.
Yep.
Maybe some more hints about that. Maybe some hints about like what to expect out of a sequel, villains, teases. Maybe that would be fun, but we're probably a little ways out from that.
Yeah.
And Avengers is most definitely going to be the focus for the next. What is it now? 8 months? 7 months?
It's May 2020? April 2020.
I think.
Math. I
No,
thought.
it's May. It's May. It's May. You're
Why
right, it's
does May 21st come to my head? I don't think it's May. I don't think it's that late, is it?
No.
It could be. I don't know. Whenever it comes out, we'll be playing it. We'll give our opinions.
Exactly.
All the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Am I prepared to say, just like Anthem will be my game I'm looking forward to in January? We'll see. Will it end up like Anthem?
I hope not.
Time will tell. I tell you, time will tell.
So until Avengers, we do have Ultimate Alliance to keep us busy. And Kevin, you're going to be hopping into Ultimate Alliance pretty soon. So if people want to follow your opinions about Ultimate Alliance, where can they find you?
At the KDs down here on my lower third. Also, opinions and thoughts on my journey towards the Batman Arkham series. Getting into that. You know what I'm saying? Follow my journey. Well, I think Arkham City is the best one. Will it hold up as the second of pretty much any series is the best? We'll see. I don't know. We shall see. Where can the good people find you, Chris and Buckley?
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me
I
on Twitter.
just said it, but
Buckley.
okay.
YouTube.com/joyclicks if you'd like to hear me talk about Marvel. I've got 19 episodes in the total series of Excelsior Marvel Podcast on podcast services. And like I said, youtube.com/joyclicks. But yeah, that is going to wrap up the Marvel Games Universe episode.
Indeed.
Next week, maybe Kevin's done with Arkham. Maybe I'm done with Arkham City. Maybe we have an Arkham discussion.
Perhaps.
I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But
that
until
could be a
then,
thing. Greatness awaits.
see ya.
Cheers.